Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So New York resident Philip Grillo, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's either Grillo or Grio. It's Grillo. He's a former state assembly district leader for the Republican Party. He also more recently ran a failed campaign to become a U.S. congressman. And in the lead up to January 6th, Grio posted a bunch of election fraud conspiracy theories on social media. And on January 5th of 2021, he drove to D.C. He was with some friends. The prosecutor said by the time that they arrived, it was the early morning hours of January 6th. Grio, though, didn't go to his hotel room. According to the sentencing memo, he sat in the car with one of those friends and he consumed, quote, copious amounts of alcohol through the following morning. So hours later, Grio and his friends walked to the ellipse. They watched Donald Trump's speech. And as they were walking, someone recorded a video of one of his friends, one of Grio's friends. And the friend said that they were going to, quote, attend the speech at the ellipse, march down to the Capitol, demand Vice President Pence decertify the election, and then start the revolution. That is exactly what they did, basically. So Grio was later seen at the front of the police line or a police line on the Capitol grounds. He followed the mob to the Upper West Terrace after they forced their way past officers and various barricades. While they were on the terrace, Grio was seen and heard yelling through a megaphone, and he repeatedly ordered the mob to charge. Then Grio was seen illegally entering the Capitol through a broken window. Now, of course, Grio tried to paint himself as a victim. You know, they all become such weaklings when they get caught. He claimed that the crowd dragged and pushed him. Those were his words, dragged and pushed him through the window, which not only is just a flat out lie based on the video evidence, but it is physically impossible, right? How do you drag someone through a window? So anyway, Grio headed to the Capitol Rotunda. A member of the media apparently stopped him along the way and asked why he was there. And Grio replied, quote, storming the Capitol. We want justice. We want equal, fair vote. We want a fair vote. I'm here to stop the steal. It's our goddamn house. So when Grio reached the Rotunda, he was seen chanting with the mob. He was yelling through his megaphone. Then he joined a group that was trying to push their way past the police to try to get to a set of exterior rotunda doors because there were a bunch of people outside waiting to be let into the Capitol. So the prosecutor said Grio was one of the first people who made it past the officers. He walked over to the exterior doors, which were being guarded by a couple more officers, and Grio and the others started forcing their way past those officers standing in front of the doors. So they successfully got past them, shoved them out of the way. They opened the rotunda doors and they allowed more members of the mob to flow in. So after that breach, and they said over the course of 50 minutes, he defied the officers' orders and he moved in and out of the Capitol building through the exterior rotunda doors. So Grio recorded himself. He was celebrating his crimes. At one point after he walked outside, he yelled to the mob, quote, we're going back in, end quote, forward. So then Grio was seen smoking weed inside the building, and that was before being finally forced out for good. So in all, Grio entered the Capitol 4 separate times. Was he dragged? Was he forced in all 4 of those times, I wonder? And so he remained on the Capitol grounds even after he was ejected from the building. And he recorded some videos, and one of them he said, quote, we're not going to fucking take it anymore. We stormed that shit, end quote. We fucking did it. We entered the Capitol building. We fucking did it. We fucking did it, baby. You understand? We stormed the Capitol. We shut it down. So Grio was arrested on February 23rd of 2021, and he was charged with obstructing an official proceeding, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. Grio refused a plea deal. He opted for a jury trial. And during his trial, Grio told very many false stories, farcical stories, you could say. He claimed that he had no idea he wasn't allowed to enter the Capitol that day. I guess it's normal for him to enter buildings through broken windows. I don't know. Maybe he does it all the time. He also laughably claimed that he only went to the Capitol because he wanted to take a photo with Trump. And he said he had no idea that Congress was meeting at the Capitol that day to certify the election. I mean, remember, this is a guy who was in leadership. He was in a leadership position in the Republican Party, and he was searching for these exact things online beforehand. So anyway, the jury didn't buy these fairy tales, and in December of 2023, Grio was found guilty on all counts. Now, as you all know, the Supreme Court made the absurd ruling that the obstruction charge only applies in cases where the defendant has some sort of, interaction with a physical document, whether they alter it, steal it, destroy it, what have you. So the conviction for that charge had to be thrown out. So Grio was sentenced on only the remaining 4 convictions, which were all misdemeanors. So Grio was looking at a combined 3 years in prison, 12 years of probation, and 210,000 fines. The prosecutor, though, requested a sentence of 2 years in prison, 2 years of probation, and 500 in restitution. U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth presided over Grio's case, luckily, and at the sentencing hearing, he discussed the fact that Trump has promised to pardon these people, and Lambert said, quote, "I will do my job as I'm bound by oath to do, and the president will do his. It's as simple as that." And then he also said, quote, "It falls to this court to hold him accountable. So now, bound by my oath of office and my allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, that is what I will do." Prior to hearing his sentence, Grio told the judge, quote, "I'm mortified. I wish I never went." Yeah, well, his feigned remorse didn't last long. After Judge Lamberth sentenced him, he changed his tune. So Judge Lamberth ended up sentencing Grio to 1 year in prison, 1 year of probation, and 500 in restitution. And the judge did something unusual. He ordered Grio to be taken into custody immediately. Well, right before Grio was handcuffed, as he was taking off his belt and other things and being let out of the courtroom, he told the judge, quote, "Trump's going to pardon me anyways." Yeah, so he's so remorseful. So Judge Lamberth told the court, quote, "No matter what ultimately becomes of the Capitol riots cases already concluded and still pending, the true story of what happened on January 6, 2021 will never change." And he also said, quote, "Just as the president must make decisions on matters of clemency without interference, so too must our judiciary independently administer the law and sentence convicted offenders. That is what it means to have an independent judiciary. That is what it means to have law and order." So these people are getting awfully cocky. They're absolutely believing that their apricot antichrist is going to ride to the rescue. He might, right? Like he told Kristen Welker over last weekend that, yeah, he plans on pardoning at least some of them. So we'll see. I give it a 50-50 chance that he keeps his promise. I mean, that's better odds than his wives had, right? I mean, when they considered whether or not Trump would be faithful to them, I mean, 50-50 is much better odds than that. So anyway, I'm just hoping more judges follow suit and send these people to prison right away, because then at least they'll spend some time behind bars, even if Trump does pardon them. So let's hope we see more of this over the next month or so. I'll let you know. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.